Okay, Others, right now I'm talking to one of the perhaps the hottest singer-songwriter at the moment because I'm just talking with Max Leone.
Oz Radio.
How are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. It's almost nighttime here.
Oh yeah, yeah. How are you feeling tonight? Okay, so I'm
I'm
going to correct my question.
feeling great. Feeling good.
You're feeling good, okay, so far. How has the pandemic been treating you? Because I mean, I'm curious. This pandemic is something that's been, it's been difficult for basically everyone, especially for a lot of musicians. But how has the pandemic been treating you so far?
It's been interesting. I in the earlier kind of like the first couple of months, it's obviously kind of a lot worse in the
Yeah,
United States, unfortunately.
yeah. Because at first you got to learn to adapt and all of that
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah. Okay, and then
yeah. The first couple of months were probably the worst part, I think, because I was not feeling inspired at all in terms of writing music and stuff like that. But I
okay,
think as it's gone on, it's become a little bit easier to kind of get into the groove of this kind of like different way of living. And I think now it kind of feels almost normal, which is weird, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's new normal era, as a wise man said.
yeah,
But are there any habits that you picked up upon during this pandemic, especially during lockdown as well? Because I would assume that outside of music, maybe you did a lot of things that you never actually got the time and the opportunity to do before. But because after lockdown, you have to be, you've got to stay at home for a long period of time. Maybe there are other new habits or maybe skills that you pick up upon
yeah.
during this pandemic. Are there any?
I definitely I've started painting
Painting.
and
Okay.
sketching a little bit, which is something
Okay.
I did as a kid and
Okay.
always thought was fun. But yeah, I think the first time I've actually painted in like 6 years or something like that. So it was fun to do
Okay.
that again.
What was the first thing that you paint?
Oh,
Do you remember? Can you recall?
I think it was probably I'm really obsessed with painting and drawing hands like in different positions.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
why. I
Okay.
think it was probably something like that.
Okay. So you're just painting your hands or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you are someone who is pretty much filled to the brim with art. You did painting, and then you also I read that you started doing music from a very young age. You started very early. I remember you started doing music since you were 5 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. Am I
Yeah.
correct? Yeah, 5. And then what really got me so curious is you started music from so early, but what really got you into music? Is it because of your family, or maybe you just got called? Because I guess it was just nature's calling for you to become a musician. What got you into music at first?
Um, well, my parents definitely always wanted me to play an instrument of some sort. Neither of them are
Okay.
musicians,
Mm,
but they really wanted me to be able to play an instrument. So yeah, when I was like 5, I they bought me a guitar and I started
okay.
taking lessons. But I
Mm,
think what really uh, got me or kind of made me obsessed with doing music was when I started writing songs, which was probably a
okay.
couple of years
Okay.
after.
Yeah. Mm,
Um, and that I don't think there was ever like a specific moment, but as soon as I started writing songs, that's all I wanted to do, and it never really shifted away from that. Just kind of stayed.
okay. Yeah. So the first time it was because your parents always wanted you to learn how to play, I guess, instruments, and then somehow you just love writing so many songs since then. Okay,
Yeah,
and then now you have so many songs that you have written, and then a lot of people also like it as well. But one thing that I notice is whenever I type your name on the internet, there are a lot of people who describe your music as anti-pop,
uh-huh.
that's really interesting to me because I don't think I've heard that before. I've heard of that. I don't know if that's a genre or not, but can you explain a little bit to me what is an anti-pop and what kind of sounds that counts as anti-pop?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what anti-pop means, but
Yeah.
I think what it means is, and what I've also heard that term a lot, and I think that anti-pop is kind of this newer generation of musicians who um, are kind of in between genres, I guess you could say, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
still
yeah,
very it's pop in its essence, but there's a lot of other genres that are kind of thrown in the mix, and so it's hard to kind of pin down what genre they fit
what
into.
genre? Yeah, yeah,
So I think that's kind of what anti-pop, at least for me, I would say that's what it means,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
which I think fits with my music.
Yeah, exactly. That was something that I was about to say because you mentioned previously that basically anti-pop is like an easy way to explain because when it comes to musicians, this generation there are so many of them who experience with a lot of kind of music and style. Sometimes they combine so many genres into one music. That's also something that you do because if I listen or I heard your music, you also combine a lot of sounds into one type of music. Is it something difficult for you to do, or it's just like something that comes out of you naturally?
I think for me, it's not that it's um, difficult or easy. It's just it seems like that is the most honest for me.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
to write a very pop song, it just wouldn't feel like me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of where it comes from, is just like trying to be as honest as I can with my music, and
Okay.
that's kind of what happened.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's just you being trying to do something that I guess what you like at first, and then you created it, and then it becomes a song, and then people just just think of it. Oh, it's combining so many genres, but it's just basically your sound. That's what
Exactly.
kind of music that you always wanted to create.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You signed on the label as the same label with Billie Eilish. I'm curious about what do you think about the sort of comparison that you always got? Because every time I read articles and then a lot of interviews about you, it's always how you are going to live up this expectation that you're going to be the next Billie Eilish. What do you think about that? Is it something that really pressured you, or maybe it's just like you're just grateful to be compared with someone like her?
I think it's definitely kind of daunting, but I would say that there is no next Billie Eilish, I would
Yeah.
say.
Okay.
So that is kind of I think for me it's like I don't I'm not trying to be the next Billie Eilish because I just think that she is so unique. Um,
Yeah. Mm.
so it's kind of just about doing what I can do
Mm.
as an artist to again make music that feels honest to me.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing that comes with that comparison is really just the people um, behind Billie and what she has accomplished, and
Yeah.
those same people are on my team now, which is probably the coolest thing about it, is just that I have the talent that made that happen are working with me now, and so that's the coolest thing that I take out of it, I think.
Okay, well, that's really, really interesting because if you're going to compare Max to Billie Eilish, maybe you guys are also different kind of musicians as well. So instead of thinking maybe Max Leone could be the next Billie Eilish, why not anticipate Max Leone instead? You know,
There you
like
go.
maybe, yeah, maybe perhaps you will be your own kind of musicians that will eventually be really successful as well. I'm really anticipating that. Let's talk about Five,
Yeah.
your latest single. I heard that it has a lot of layers in the music. What inspired you to write this song, especially the story behind this song? Is it something that you experience in your personal life, in the real life, or is it something that you just want to create?
Hmm. Um, it definitely came out of just experiencing I think kind of just the recent events that have happened this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of everything that has happened in the world with COVID-19, and also
Yeah.
here in the States with just the civil rights movement kind of
Yeah.
resurgence
Yeah.
almost. It
Mm.
just seems like there's a lot of things that are changing about the way we live and about what we're talking about. And
Mm.
so um, Five kind of came out of that kind of feeling of needing to write something that kind of validated those shifts. And I think
Yeah.
the song is about how it's very unpredictable how life can change, but
Yeah.
what you can do is think about your life in the present and what you value in your life, and what
Mm.
you maybe want to let go, and how you can kind of choose to focus on certain aspects of your life that maybe you wouldn't be thinking of if you weren't in that mindset. So that's kind of what it's about.
Yeah, yeah. That's a very, very deep concept. Did you came up with the idea for five recently, or if is it something that you always been thinking about forever, for a long time, then finally you managed to put it into a song?
I think it was definitely a product of this year.
Oh,
I think
this year.
that's what is really cool. I think in a lot of ways about 2020, and just how it has really disrupted our lives in a lot of terrible ways, obviously. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I think it's kind of waking people up and kind of asking them some tough questions, which can be difficult, but it's also, I think, necessary in a lot of ways.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, that's really interesting, and it's a great song as well.
Thank
But Max, my next question will still be about five, but perhaps this will be one of the most. I have asked this question to a lot of musicians as well, and this is kind of difficult for plenty of them.
you.
I'm going to ask you, how would you describe five without any musical terms?
Oh wow. Um, I think the first thing is
Yeah.
it feels very existential to me.
Okay.
It feels
Okay.
very dreamy,
Dreamy. Okay.
and what's one more I could say? I think it's very vibrant.
Vibrant. Okay. 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 And that's it. That's it.
That's it. I got three
Uh,
for 3 words.
Existential, dreamy,
Uh-huh.
and vibrant.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Max. Thank you so much for talking with me. It's been an honor. Trying to understand your story as well. It's been really, really great. I can't wait to see you maybe in the future if you come to Indonesia
Of
one day
course.
when COVID ends.
I would
Have
love
some
to.
showcase here, man. It will be really, really amazing if you ever did that. Thank you so much, Max.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me as well.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.